What's up, and welcome to the Very Best Self podcast. I'm your host, Victoria Brown. Tune in each week as I have candid conversations with inspiring humans, including athletes, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and anyone out there making waves. Get ready to leave your comfort zone behind, step into your power, and live a more purpose-driven life. I am so happy that you're here. Now let's do this. What's up, squad? What is up, team? What's up, family? Hi, it's VB. So today's episode is going to be a good one, but I'm a little bit biased, but I do think it's a good one. I think it's a really good one. I have Rayy Syymone on today, and, the universe is a pretty cool place. And when we get to cross paths with people from time to time who are really, really special, it's a cool thing. And so that's exactly how Rayy ended up here today. She and I crossed paths and the universe brought us together. And I was totally struck by her. I was really, really taken aback by just who she is and how she shows up in the world. And to be honest, I just knew immediately when I talked to her and got to know her a little bit. I was like, man, I got to have this girl on the podcast. I need to share her story. And it's a very, very, very inspiring one. So we're going to get into it today. Just to kind of give you a quick preview, she has lost over 100 pounds. So whether you're someone who's on a weight loss journey or not, this episode is definitely for everyone because there is a takeaway inside of her journey for anyone who's listening, no matter what it is that you're working towards. To achieve anything great in our lives, it's about mindset. It's always about mindset. And so we're going to dig deep into the kind of mindset it took for her to completely transform her life. So stay tuned. Here we go. All right. Welcome back. I am so pumped for today's episode. I have Rayy in the studio, in the house, on camera here. And I'm so pumped to have you. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really do appreciate it.
I guess I'll start with just kind of saying, the reason why I was like, I got to have you on the pod. I got to have you here. So Rayy and I just met for the first time. We were on set at an Under Armour photo shoot together in Portland, just like, what was it, like 2 weekends ago? It was like so right around like just yesterday we were there. And so we just met. And I think I knew this girl for like, I don't even know, like I probably knew maybe like 10, 20 minutes. And I remember that you were standing there and you were like, yeah, so I've lost 100 pounds, more than 100 pounds, I think now, which we'll get into. So yeah, you were like, I've lost over 100 pounds. And I think it may even be more than 100 pounds now. We'll definitely get into all of that. But you were like, yeah, I'm here because I want to motivate and inspire people on their journeys to live a better life. And I was like, man, I just met this girl. And I was like, she is that convicted in her mission in this world that I am a complete and utter stranger to her. And she just shared this with me. I was like, that's huge. That's powerful. And in that moment, I was like, I know I have to have her on the podcast. And it was just such an honor and a pleasure to get to know you over that weekend and just really, I don't know, just be in your presence. And so I got to know a little bit more about your story. And I want to share that story with all of my listeners.
Oh, I really do appreciate it. Yeah. So, motivating and inspiring the world, that's all I care about. At the end of the day, it's just making sure that someone sees themselves in my journey. And that's the biggest part for me, because we see a lot of the same things repetitive, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like just adding those other people in there to show people like, hey, she was once almost 300 pounds. She's gotten down to this size. This is actually how things also are normal, and also seeing that type of body type somewhere when you look up, just seeing a different body type instead of seeing the social norm. So that's what I love pushing to my followers.
Yes. And I love that. And you said, and seeing the same thing is okay. And that's normal. It's not okay to see the same thing. And like, I think it's such an important conversation for all of us to be having. The brands that we support, the people that we support, like who do they support and where, who do they surround themselves with? And these brands and like representation is so, so, so important in every every theater, every every playing field, right? It's important. And so making that your mission to know that, like, maybe when you were growing up and you were going, began this journey and going through what you're going through, like maybe you didn't see people who looked like you who were going through this, and it just doesn't, maybe it's harder to find the confidence to feel like you can do what you want to do in this world if you've never seen anybody before you ever do it.
Well, I will definitely say thank you for saying it wasn't normal, because sometimes I try to not offend other people, but then at the same time, I do also have to understand, I do have to like start being comfortable with speaking, my truth, which, like you said, is very, very important. No, growing up, I did not see anyone like me. I am a Black woman. And I think I told you when I first seen you, like, I'm not from, I don't come from anything. I literally come from nothing. I come from the streets of Compton, California. Like, I come from nothing, and I'm not saying I was ever poor, but I come from a space where you don't get to see anything positive. It's a lot of violence, a lot of negativity and things of that nature. And I didn't want to live like that. But not just that, but just knowing that I knew as a young child, I've always wanted to help people change their lives or do something to motivate and inspire people, but I just never knew what it was going to be. So when I started my weight loss journey, I was kind of forced into the whole idea of being healthy. And it sucks to say that, but I didn't know what health was. I have a Southern background. My family comes from Mississippi, New Orleans, Alabama. So you can only imagine the Southern food we had, so unhealthy. And not one person in my family actually took care of themselves. No one in my family has ever been on a weight loss journey. No one in my family is actually healthy. About most of my family, actually, if not most of the adults in my family, have high blood pressure. They have diabetes. They're all obese. They have nothing healthy about them. They don't eat clean. They could care less about it. And their whole idea is we eat to enjoy ourselves. We don't eat to be healthy. And I saw myself getting bigger and bigger, and I saw myself just becoming a younger version of them, just becoming a very unhealthy person. So I told myself, like, I don't want to look like you guys. Like, I don't want to be unhealthy like you guys. I want to be someone that is healthier, and I don't want to die young. So as I start seeing myself becoming much more unhealthier throughout the years, I realized I had to do something. My weight was at the highest 275 pounds, only 5'3". So imagine all that weight being on someone that's small. Like, I'm short, I'm not tall. So all of that pressure on my knees, everything, my back,
And
my
that's
shoulders.
not even we're not even talking about just physical weight.
Yeah.
The
Mental,
amount,
emotional
the
weight, for
weight
sure.
that you must have been carrying around mentally and emotionally to be carrying that much physically, to feel, I'm certain that you want to make a change, but like, where do you start? Where do you begin? And like, how do you start that journey? How do you take the first step?
Right. Correct. So, I went through a lot of trauma as a child. Again, being in that environment, I'm never afraid to share my journey as far as like me being a product of physical abuse growing up, me being a product of being molested by a family member growing up. And this family member stayed around. And when I told my family about it, what happened, no one cared. And everyone told me that because he's family, we have to accept him. So it was forget, protect the child. It was forget, protect, this young person that has no choice but to be around this person and to be babysat by this person over and over. And I keep saying, hey, like, something is wrong. This is not okay. I feel weird. What's going on? And to tell my grandmother, to tell people that, were my family, no one changed. Even to this day, my grandmother, and again, I don't mind telling who it is, my family, but my grandmother still protects this person. As of last year, I actually ended up wanting to go further and do something about it. So I filed a police report. Finally filed a police report because no one wanted to do it when I was younger. So when I filed the police report and I told my grandmother, hey, look, they're going to be contacting you to speak with you because you are aware of it. You are a witness to it. You know about the situation. Right when I told her that, she ended up blocking me and my mother, and she no longer speaks to us.
I am so sorry. And thank you for the vulnerability to share this.
Of course, because I'm not the only person that has dealt with this or even worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's good to be transparent because growing up, being molested as a child, you don't know what's going on. So you carry a lot of that on you. And then not only that, my grandmother was an alcoholic. So I was young, maybe first or second grade, coming home, finding my grandmother on the floor, drunk out of her brain, butt
Mm.
naked in the house, calling me all types of thieves and hoes and all types of things. So this was like my norm, coming home to a drunk grandmother, having to care for her. At first and second grade, I'm walking home from school by myself. No one's helping me with homework. I'm having to learn how to cook on my own. I'm learning how to take care of my cousins on my own, changing diapers, everything on my own. So it's kind of being trained to be an adult, a traumatic adult growing up. So I didn't learn how to be free and be a kid. So I grew up really fast. So, dealing with all that trauma, dealing with all of that stress and depression, and then trying to finish school and trying to have friends, it was really, really hard for me. Even to now, like I don't have a lot of friends because I don't know how to make them. Because I was so just bottled in as a kid. Speaking to people is so tough for me, tougher than people actually think. So knowing that I have a platform now where I'm actually seen by so many people, it makes me so anxious. Like, oh my God, so many people are watching me. It scares me. But understanding that my message is bigger than just I lost weight, understanding that I've come from that traumatic area. I've come from growing. I got therapy. I took care of myself. I gained the weight. I lost the weight and wanted myself to win at the end of the day. I didn't want those traumas to win. I wanted me to win for the first time in my life. I wanted to take care of me. So that's why I'm on this journey to inspire and
Wow.
motivate the world. Mhm.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And honestly, like I said, truly just for being so open and so vulnerable with your story. And I got all of that from you in like the very short amount of time that I spent with you. And I was like, man, you are doing that. Like you are motivating and inspiring people, and you talk about your journey, and you talk about those things, and you insert your journey into like commonplace conversation, which is like so huge and so major and so important and so necessary and so needed, because there are so many people in the world who come from circumstances that just plain and simple, no other way to put it, suck. But the truth is, no matter what it is that you are fighting through, no matter what it is that you have fought through, be it your situation or anything similar or anything different, like we all have the choice and the power to either let our circumstances define us or not. And you made a brave choice, a courageous choice. And it's not a choice that you make just one time. That's a choice you got to
Yeah.
wake up and make again and again and again. And like today and the next day and the day after that and the day after that and the day after that and the day after that. And you have to wake up and you have to continue to make that brave choice and to choose yourself. Like you said, you have to choose yourself. And we get one body in this life and that's it. So like you got to love the one that you're in, and it can be a very long path and a very long journey, and an arduous one to learning to love ourselves. But yeah, like your weight loss is not just what defines you on your Instagram profile. Like you truly share every piece and every part of what you're going through, it seems, and like also like breathe that life and that courage and that strength into others who are following you. Like you can do this too. Like it's not like you're like, oh, I've arrived, I've made it, look at me. It's like I've arrived, I've made it, I'm still on my way. And
Yeah.
also let me turn back and like lend a hand because I'm gonna help you too.
Yeah. And I'm
Which is
happy that you see that through my journey. I do appreciate that because that's the message I want to get across. It's not about, oh, look at me and look what I got. It's not about that because all that stuff can go away. All of the things that I've done could go away tomorrow. But it's
right.
just me knowing that I can take you, even if you're just one person, and do something a little bit different. Add a seed, pretty much, planting a seed. And when
Mhm.
I plant that seed, you're able to take that message and say, hey, I met someone that dealt with this. This is how they got through it. And it's also planting more seeds. So when you do that, it helps more people. So me speaking with you, I'm quite sure, and it's not me trying to be cocky, but knowing that you're going to share this journey also. Hey, I got to talk to Rayy. This is what she experienced. And the people that are listening are going to know, hey, like she experienced this and I've also dealt with this. So like I said, just
Right.
planting seeds and just having this type of platform and people that understand and people that realize that it does need to change for sure.
For sure. And the thing that I love, I heard this once before, but the thing that I love about the idea of like planting a seed is like, I forget who told me this or where I read it or where I saw it, but like you think about the actual act of planting a seed. Where do you plant it? In a really, really dark place.
Mhm.
You plant a seed in a really dark place, and then you water it, and it takes time, and it grows, and eventually it emerges into the light, right? So like whatever that seed is for you. And like I always say this in any of my podcasts that I have, I truly like to remind everyone that like this is your story and that's your journey, but there's always something you can take from everyone else's story and everyone else's journey and apply your own story and your own journey from whatever dark place that you're planting your seed in, to know that you can emerge and find yourself in the light.
Right. Yes.
And so for anyone out there who's trying to overcome something, who's trying to get to a place where they, I don't know, they have to do something scary or make a big move, or it's whether it's a giant weight loss or whatever it is, like how did you find yourself taking that first step? Like what was your day one like? And do you remember a specific day one and something that really changed in your mind to really make it happen? Or like is there like a defining moment? Or what would you say to someone who wants to start something but is afraid or doesn't know where to begin or how to have a day one?
So my day one, like I said earlier, was kind of forced upon me. So my day one ended up being, I was hospitalized for 3 days because TMI, but I couldn't go to the restroom for 2 weeks. I was backed up.
Wow.
It is what it is. And my belly was distended. I had headaches. At the time I had hemorrhoids. Again, TMI, but these things are true for people that
Okay.
are
It's
overweight.
fine.
Like you
It's fine.
have these problems.
Yeah, sure.
So I had to go to the doctor for that. And when I went to the doctor, like, yeah, you're really bad off. Like, you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself going forward. So I said, okay. So they put me in the hospital for 3 days. And then from that point on, after the 3 days, they told me pretty much if I didn't go to the restroom while I was in the hospital, I couldn't go home. And I wanted to go home badly. So they gave me the medication. I took that. And the defining moment for me was when I left that hospital, they gave me a discharge paper. And on the discharge paper, it said my name, my age, and my weight. Now, at that time when I saw my weight, I was just like, what? I'm 275 pounds. Not only did it say 275 pounds, but it also said severe obesity. Severe obesity. For me, that meant I was going to die. That means I had diabetes. That means that I had high blood pressure. That means I had high cholesterol. That means I had a lot of things going on with me that I could not fix. That's what I thought I couldn't fix. So when I saw that, I was like, aha, okay, you're going to die if you don't get it together. You're young. I think at the time, I think I was like 23 years old. You're young, you're talented, you're beautiful. Take care of yourself. Like there's life in you that you don't have to live the same way that people have told you that you're never going to make it. Because when I was younger, I was told that my family, you're never going to make it. Like, this is what our family does. We eat all day. This is kind of like a routine. So I told myself that I don't want to be like that. I don't want to die at a young age. I know I have a lot to offer the world. And I told myself when I was younger, I wanted to inspire the world some way, somehow. And this could be the way I do it. Believe it or not, this is the conversation that I had. So at the time, Instagram had been around a while, but I wasn't really fond of putting myself on social media. So when I put myself on social media, I actually started off as wanting to be a face model. I don't know why, but I ended up putting myself out there on social media and wanted to be a face model. As time went on, I said, okay, well, you know what? I'll just go ahead and start sharing my journey. And I started putting stuff on Instagram, started posting my body, started posting the scale, started posting what I was eating in the day. And at the time, Instagram was booming to the point where anything that was fitness was finally starting to catch attention, but I didn't really know it. So I think within like the first 3 or 4 months, I had already hit 10,000 people, 10,000
Wow.
followers in like 2 or 3 months. And I was just like, how the heck did this happen? So being that, I was able to realize that severe obesity was not the answer for me, realize that I wanted to inspire the world, realize I didn't know how to, but I wanted to, realizing that I just so happened to find a platform to do it. That's kind of where the aha moment started. So for people that are listening in right now, if you're a person that don't know how to start and you're not really interested in sharing your journey on social media, that's not a problem. But I would definitely say you definitely have to take one day at a time. You have to get started some way, somehow. You have to understand that you are worth it. You have to understand that your past does not define you. Your past is not the reason for you to give up on yourself. Your past should be fuel to help you to get through the next moments, because there's a saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. None of those things in my past has ever killed me. Clearly, I'm here. But every experience leading up until this moment of me even speaking to you has made me stronger, has made me understand, who I am and what my journey and what my path is. Help me to understand that it's not just me. And also help me to understand that I have a message to help save lives. Because I kid you not, I get so many people when I'm at my worst. I literally am at my worst sometimes where I'm not on social media. And then I'll get a DM. Ray, you inspire me so much. You have no idea how much you've changed my life. Just you sharing your journey, just being transparent has helped me to just get started on day one. So I saved one of your workout videos and I did it yesterday and it almost killed me, but it helped me to get started on day one. And that literally just motivates and inspires me, because that also shows me that it's not just me. It's not just about me at the end of the day. It's also about the people that want to get started on their journey. So I feel like it's my obligation to help those people going forward. Me
I
having a
love
lot of
that.
scatterbrain right now, but that's just kind of like where that is.
Yeah. I mean, when you know what you're here to do on this earth, on this planet, when you know your mission and your purpose and you're standing in that power, there's something really inspiring about that. So, I mean, it's absolutely, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And to know like all of the like what your starting point was, and to know like all of the odds that were stacked against you and all of the people that didn't believe in you and you still found a way, like that just says so much to anyone out there who's like, it's like you either choose to allow all of your excuses to get in the way, or you just say, no, I'm bigger than that. I'm bigger than my fears. I'm bigger than my excuses. I'm bigger than my doubts. I'm bigger than my insecurities. And I can get through this, and you're getting through it. And I hate to say, I never like to say like you've arrived or you've made it, right? Because I feel like we never truly arrive. We've never truly made it, right? I think we're just like always a work in progress and always learning more about ourselves and just continuing to move through the journey, right? And you're doing that and just sharing it. So, and I think it also is important to say that for anyone out there who doesn't want to do it on social media, like you can still do it. I love that you mentioned that, because that's another roadblock. Someone could say, well, I don't have the following that she has, or I don't have whatever she has, but you can do that you could do that in any area, right? We can compare ourselves to literally anyone in any field doing anything. And we can be like, well, she has this and I don't, she has this and I don't, or he has this and I don't, etc. And like, it's just, you either choose all of the reasons why you can do something, or you choose all the reasons why you can't do something.
Mm-hmm. Because every day is going to be an excuse why you can't. I'm too tired. My back hurts. My leg hurts. My kids are running around. I'm late for work. I'm this, I'm that. My kids have, it's always going to be a reason. So when you continue to keep piling on those excuses every single day, you are literally putting yourself last. But not only that, it's really killing you when you stop thinking about you. People say when you think about you, it's so selfish. You're right. It's very selfish. I deserve to be selfish sometimes because I need to take care of me. That's okay to be selfish. It's such a bad idea behind being selfish. No, I feel like it's bad being selfish when you literally could care less about your actions harming other people. But if you're doing
Right.
something to help yourself, protecting yourself, if you're doing something that's not harming others, and all you're doing is wanting to save your life, being selfish is 100% okay.
I couldn't agree
So,
more. And I really think we need to change the narrative around that for sure. Cause if you want to be a better friend, a better husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, coworkers, whatever it is, sibling, if you want to be better at anything for anyone else, you have to show up for yourself first. You cannot pour from an empty cup. We pour from the overflow. You have to fill your own cup, and then you overflow your cup, and that's what you give to everybody else. We've had it twisted for so long and had it backwards for so long that the narrative on being selfish and that being a bad thing is so old and tired. And you're right, there is a type of selfish that doesn't work for the world, but it's not all selfish is bad.
Yeah, not all selfish is bad. And I think right now, the way the world is going, I think it's just so beautiful because now we're talking about not only one body type, not just only the athletes of the world. We're literally celebrating where people are now.
But
I
that we're all
also see that, yeah, that we're all athletes, no matter where we are in our journey.
Mhm.
People can look at me right now, which was so interesting because when we were at the photo shoot, there was a question of, I don't think you were in the van, but there was a question of, okay, if we do this, are you okay with doing this exercise? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with doing an exercise. Like I can move,
Yeah,
like I
you do.
can move,
Yeah,
like
you do.
I can move with no problem. But now I have the confidence to say that I can move. Now I have the confidence to say that I literally started with just walking on the treadmill for 5 minutes and being winded, only being able to walk maybe 2 or 3 steps without my knees, my back hurting. Now I can jump over boxes. Now I can do push-ups. I can do anything I want to do because I literally started from ground zero.
Right.
I've made in my mind the impossible extremely possible. I feel like there's nothing I cannot do, period. I'm sure there's going to be things that may be challenging for me to do. It's going to take a little bit more time for me to do, a little bit more time for me to understand how to get it done. But I'm quite sure at this stage in my life where I am, there's no limits for me anymore. There's no limit at all whatsoever. And I want people to understand. I know it sounds so cliche when people say, I can do it, you can do it. It's so cliche because there's that I can do it, you can do it, but how you get to that, I can do it. And that in between, people are not teaching. That in between, people are not sharing. And that's where I feel like that's where I need to share. That's where I need to, okay, this is how we're going to start it. This is the problems you're going to have. You're going to fall. You're going to be upset. You're going to be disgruntled. You're going to want to quit. All those things are going to happen. You're going to fall off your weight loss. You're going to gain weight. You're going to lose weight. You're going to be frustrated. All these things are going to happen. But as those things happen, you're getting stronger, stronger. You're going to understand. But then when that do it happens or I can do it, it's just like, oh shoot, I came from there to here. That's crazy. So then I
Yeah.
can do anything I want to do, So that's kind of like where I'm at right now. Like I could do anything. I mean, just being on set with you guys, when I tell you guys it was like a dream come true, it was a dream come true knowing that where I started my journey to just, again, starting on Instagram with just posting a video, photo, going into becoming one of the faces of 24-hour fitness on billboards across the United States, going into working as working behind the scenes with certain actresses and actors in the Hollywood business, going to having articles written about me, going into now I'm working with people that are with Under Armour. Like this is a huge brand. This is not something that's like, something small. This is a huge deal. And when I tell you, I was so grateful. I was so blessed and I was so humbled because I was just appreciative just to be in everyone's midst, honestly.
You're making me want to cry. I haven't cried on a single
Oh,
episode yet, and you're making me want to cry.
no. Well,
You
no,
are. You're
honestly, I
tearing
really
up.
do mean it though. I really do.
Because
No, it really
it's
is. But yeah, because
I feel the same way. I feel so grateful to be like a part of that weekend and to be a part of the brand. And like I just love a brand who gets it. And it's so, so, so awesome. Like to celebrate human beings and not just some human beings, but all human beings at
yeah.
every stage
Yeah.
of
And
their journey.
honestly, exactly. And honestly, I don't know how it's going to get done. I don't know when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, what way it's going to happen. But I definitely know some way, somehow, I am going to be somewhere that people can literally look up and say, wow, I know that because I know that's in my heart. And I know that I have a mission and I know that people are starting to see that it's bigger than just some people. It's everyone. Everyone is important. And that's just my mission. That's it. That's it. It was my mission to just be with 24-hour fitness. But this is like a dream come true, like I said.
I love that. And I think, I for a long time ago I think I was like playing with my like cousin or something. I don't remember how this came up, but a long time ago, I love an analogy. Like I'm obsessed with analogies. Like you come to my soul cycle class and I'm like constantly drawing some weird, crazy like parallel. I don't know. But the game when you were a kid, like shoots and ladders.
Oh, yeah.
Chutes and ladders is life. So anybody who's on a weight loss journey or any kind of journey whatsoever, like you're just going along and all of a sudden you hit a ladder all of a sudden and like boom, you're going up 3 levels on one turn. And then all of a sudden you're going along your journey and then boom, you hit a chute and then damn, you're back down again 3 levels. Like, you know what I mean? But
Exactly.
eventually like you get to the finish line of that game, like eventually, but it's highs and it's lows, it's up and it's down and it's like ebbs and flows, and understanding that like if you overlook the entire board game, like you're gonna hit the finish line eventually as long as you keep playing the game. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's chutes and ladders.
I love that. I love that a lot. I love that because that's exactly what it is. And I also think that, even people that have been athletes their entire lives, you weren't athletic your entire life. Like you had to come from somewhere. Like you had to start off somewhere with some type of sport. You weren't the best at your sport when you first got in it. You had to learn and practice.
Right.
So again, it's just even with those athletes or just people in general, show that because people want to see that also. So I think that's beautiful. I'm happy
100%.
that you said that because now that's definitely something I'm going to take. Chutes and ladders is my thing now. So I think that that's very beautiful and it explains it so perfectly because there's not a one way up. It's not just only one way and that's just how it's going to keep going. No, you're going
Right.
to have bumps in the road. You're going to have
The
these ups
journey is
and
not
downs.
linear. The journey is not
No, it's
linear.
really, really not. It's not because even the other day, I think I had a question on my story, and someone said they're on their third weight loss journey. I was like, my gosh, your third weight loss journey? Like I couldn't imagine because the first one wipes me out, but knowing that someone out there actually has done it 3 times, like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So even for that, it was just like, I'm happy she never gave up. I know that had to have been tough. I know that had to have been hard, emotionally
Sure.
draining, but that was so inspiring to me because I'm like, oh, wow, like there's someone out here that has worked for it, lost it, worked for it again, lost it, and now it's working for it again. So it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. And I'm just so grateful. I promise you, I'm just so grateful. And I don't like to get too spiritual because I don't want to offend people, but I'm not going to hide my faith. I definitely pray every single day to just, and I never pray for myself. That's one thing I never do. I always pray to God and say, God, just help me to be able to be someone's ear, be someone that people can admire and admire in a positive way where they feel comfortable with speaking to me or asking me questions. And please give me that strength to be able to help them. That's it. And people ask me all the time, Rayy, why don't you have millions of followers? I'm like, because the numbers doesn't really matter to me. It's not a numbers game.
It
I know some
doesn't.
people on, social media. So I feel like now social media is about a numbers game. Like if you have like 200, 300,000 people, like you must be the best of the best.
No.
No, no,
Mm-mm.
because some about those people, and this is me being very honest, some of them are just for show. Some of them are just about a numbers game for popularity. And
Right.
I've never been that way. And I'm totally okay with not having a larger following. I love my crew. I love my people and they are so loyal to me. It's crazy. When
And that's
someone goes say
amazing.
something negative, they come in and say, no, you're not going to say anything negative about her. Like this, that. And I'm just like, I love that. So my tribe, this is my family. This is my tribe for sure.
I love that. And I'm glad that you shared your faith. You should always do that and never hide that
Yeah,
ever.
for sure. Because not everyone will understand, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that can understand. So
The more you always
I'm
have to
just
take every opportunity to share every piece and every part of yourself. And I think that's because the more we share about who we are and, what makes us who we are, at our core is the more people can relate to you. And when people can relate to you, like that's what it's all about is relatability.
Honestly, as I'm speaking with you, I'm learning. I'm learning from you right now. Um, and that's what I also love about my journey because I don't want there to be a situation where I feel like I know everything. As
Right.
I'm speaking to you and sharing my journey, you're also speaking life into me. You're also speaking things into me that I'm going to take from this today. So thank you so much for speaking that and helping me to understand that it's okay to speak about X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. It's okay to talk
I
about your
appreciate
faith. It's okay to have stretch marks. It's okay to be on your third weight loss journey. It's okay. Whatever it is, it's okay. you know?
I love it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of
I'm
course. So let me
learning. I'm
ask.
learning every day.
I love it. Let me ask you one last question. If you could give yourself one piece of advice, a younger version of you, one piece of advice, what would it be?
One piece of advice. I would definitely say it's okay to love yourself because I never loved myself until recent. And I say recent as of maybe 2 years ago. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to smile. And it's okay that people don't understand you. I would definitely say that
I love,
100%.
I love that. That's beautiful. Well, thank you so, so damn much for being on today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you sharing your heart. I appreciate your vulnerability, and tell people where they can find you, Rayy Syymone.
You can find me on Instagram. I am Rayy Syymone with two Y's. So it's RayysYymone on IG. And I don't know, maybe you can find me somewhere else where Victoria is. I don't know.
Yes, Queen. We're gonna find you in all of the places here. Okay. And yes, I hope we get to work together in the future, hopefully very soon. That would be amazing. But you really did
Yes.
you struck me. You have a very warm energy and presence about you. And I know it's just the beginning for you. So I love being a part of it. And it was just amazing to have our paths cross. So thank you so much for being here.
I definitely appreciate you. And I definitely would love to just honestly share really, really quick that I'm inspired by you. And I aspire to just continue to keep learning from the people that have been in the game for quite longer than I have. So thank you again for having me. And hopefully, again, we get to work together
Yes.
again.
All right, girl. Man, oh man, oh man. I told you that today was going to be a good episode. I told you that you wanted to stick around for this one. Rayy is such an incredibly inspiring human being who literally is the epitome of someone who changed their lives against all odds. The odds were stacked against her. No matter how you slice it, no matter how you dice it, the odds were absolutely stacked against her. And she said, nope, I'm not choosing that life. This is the life I'm going to choose. This is the path I'm going to choose. And she chose and has never looked back. And so I know we can all take something from her journey and from her story to inspire us all in our pursuits of whatever it is that we're going after. And knowing that all of the things that get in your way, the roadblocks, the things that, just the obstacles that show up out of nowhere, don't let those things stop you. Keep going, keep fighting, keep pushing. If Rayy can do it, I know that every one of us can do it. So thanks again for listening. I'm your girl, Victoria Brown. Follow me on Instagram at Victoria Brown. What else? Follow us on the pod handle. You know the drill, at very best self. And please, please, please like, subscribe, and review. We really appreciate that. So I will see you guys on Tuesday next week. Thanks for listening.